Wait, I don't have the chat over here, wait. Oh, I forgot, I forgot that. Wait, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. Let me pop out the chat. You are hearing my voice, but we are completely ready. Here, I think, okay, everything else is fine. Okay, here it is. I think I didn't forget anything else. I think I'm not completely sure, and if I did, it isn't my problem. Let me quit over here. Let me close this code. Let me close the script. Let me. Did I say I have the chat? No, it didn't load. What? Okay. Shut up, Discord. Uh, there it is. Uh, I am having internet problems right now. No, I am not having any kind of real problem. What is going on with the whole scuffness that is happening right now? PC, do you want to work? Do you want to do your only real obligation? My dear, I know. I had I had my fucking WhatsApp open in the background, sucking up all those juicy RAM megabytes. Let me close that. The only problem right now is my browser, but I cannot solve it anyway, so I might as well not even. Oh no! Category. I forgot to change the category. I am so troll. Wait. Give me a second. Give me a second. This is a mess. This is the worst stream so far. Taking into account how much we have been going, seeing that this is the only fail we have had so far in 2 weeks or so, it is fine. So, anyways, with this tiny snore, we are back to the chillness element that represents this channel. So, well, hello everybody, as always. Hello, dear bot watchers. Hello, anybody who's lurking. Hello, those who come here for the first time. Those who decide to pass, as they always do when the potato is streaming. And well, first and beforehand, let me give on the chat. There it is, the actual objective. Apple. I have an apple. I forgot to say about it almost anywhere. But even if that was a reality, I don't care. I will eat it anyways. Why? I need to eat something. I do not want to swear that much, but I am really tired. So yeah, I need to get some sugar, some caffeine on my veins going for this upcoming hour of streaming that we have left to do. Aside from that, everything else seems to be kind of fine. Um, well, today it was a very long day for the potato. We worked a little bit on the whole aspect of the channel with the whole banner thing that we did earlier on the morning. Not really on the morning, more like on the evening. But anyways, we did it. It doesn't matter when we did it. I know that we did it. Also, it was very tiring to do so, mostly because, man, what a mess is Krita. Or, I would say, between a 30 and a 40% of the problem lies on the fact that I do not have my mouse wheel. But I have been slowly trying to solve it or circumvent it in any way. And I finally found that using as I said today, using the mousepad from the PC, I can somehow simulate that. Um, and I am the only real problem is that I am still learning how to use it. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, almost never I know if when I am going with my fingers up, it is that I am going to go down, or when I am going down, it means that I will go down. It really is something completely new to me, not something hard to learn, because I already figured out how it works. Because, yeah, it isn't hard by itself, but it is a rather new technology, so we will see. We will really see how it all goes. Um, Aside from that, the new banner that we did, and that is, I don't know, I do not want to share myself so hard, so it is on Twitter. If you really wanted to see it, you will go there and, you know, mm, what? Yeah, no, don't worry. I do not say it because it is bad. I am working on it. I was only doing a little bit of a recap, and thank you for being here. Is it Kayonoike? I am I am still guessing how to say your name. Sorry if it isn't a right way to do so. But anyways, yes. Thank you for your kind words. We are enduring the process. Mm, and well, yes. Aside from that, the whole composition was kind of fine. It isn't that it came out better than what I expected. It is probably that I am riding on my memory rather than really seeing the final result. So I might be, in a sense, going kind of crazy. Or what is it? What overestimating my own final work. Mostly taking into account that I am in no way a professional artist, and even less with mouse. But the most important part, that even if I didn't want to accept it in other times, right now I am completely fine with saying it. It was free. I didn't have to pay anyone money. I can do it for myself for free, so you know what? I prefer low quality for free rather than anything else, but pay. As I don't remember, I think I even said it before. Even if I were to be offered a masterpiece, like, I don't know, a Leonardo da Vinci piece of artwork, I wouldn't pay more than $10. Why? I am not spending money on that right now. I do not have the luxury of spending money on stuff like that, so I will miss a lot of things through life, at least while I am still in this situation, but I am also fine with that. As long as I accept that I will miss things, I will at least know that I am missing on them and not deluding myself from the idea that whatever I am doing, being a cheap person, is good by itself. But well, aside from that, also my whole day in general was very kind of messy, so to speak. I I had to go to tell. Wait, let me think a little bit. We did some. I did art. I ate something. I had to tend one of my dogs, so it was kind of funny. We had to take the dog to what is hairdresser isn't the right word. That is for humans. Dog hairdresser or something like that. Okay, good luck, Demba Fish. I hope whatever Tahin is, you are enjoying it. Thank you. And you know what? You didn't expect this, but hear it right now. There is apple. There is also apple. Thank you for coming. I hope you you enjoyed your stay here. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Thank you as always for your support. Yeah. It is kind of good. Taking into consideration, I haven't had an apple in almost a week or so. I'm enjoying this one. It is very, very good. At least, as I said, compared to anything else. It is like more an 8 of an apple. It isn't that bad, but it has some very sour parts. Even if it is a fucking red apple, think what the fuck? Think that I do not completely understand. I hope it didn't get into the mic, but out of nowhere there was a completely random bow here in the background. So I don't know what was that. I hope that dog is okay. Mm-hmm. There is also that dog. Again, what is going on? I am going crazy, probably. But at the same time, I am fine with that. Mm-hmm. As I was saying, I have been also. I take my dog to the hairdresser. Obviously, we had to retrieve the dog, and we did some simple just chatting into Discord. As oh my god, there you have it. Thank you for your Bob Redeem Bunkum. And yes, literally the first one. It was completely evil. And the best part was that I forgot to say it almost anywhere, so. There you have it, Bunkum. Your second. Your third and your fourth. And your fifth. And your sixth. And I think you ran out of points already. This is such a sad event. Yeah. I found that if I was going to do some kind of ASMR content, I might as well add it to the reviews. Well, at least for now, we are very fine with it. It isn't really a sound that is hard to make, the simple bap. Slurping Lizzie, what? And please do not tell me that it is an insult. I do not know what a Lizzie is. I do not want to be sexualized. Lizzie. Lizzie. Wait. I remember that meme. Shy Lizzie, yeah. Slurping Shy Lizzie, no. Lizzie, food. What is a Lizzie? A hot dog. Oh yeah, slurping a hot dog. What a tasty thing. But anyways, I'm sorry, I got distracted. I was. No, wait. Before anything else, no slurping Lizzie. If you want to see me slurp a Lizzie, pay like 2,000 bits, and even if you pay them right now, I will still have to go and buy a release. I have no release in my house. Mm. Mhm. I am surprised that I already got kind of distracted from what I was saying before. I was, I think I left it on the Discord call, kind of micro just chatting we had earlier in the afternoon, I think it was. And I, at, at least I personally really enjoyed that. It was really a very great experience seeing. Well, I think I really enjoy to hear people talk about what they like, what they dislike, in a sense that they have always the possibility of explaining themselves. And even if I wanted to do it on stream, I also have to accept that not everybody is willing to reveal not personal information, but reveal to such an audience, so to speak, that personal information. Because at the end of the day, if you are streaming, let's say for example, for 3 or 4 guys on, or not streaming, being in a Discord call with 3 or 4 guys, or that you think they are your friends, you might feel more confident than just talking in a sense to the void at the very least on stream. So I kind of understand that struggle to express so deeply whatever it is you are having in your mind. In that sense, I still, it isn't that I don't have any problem with it. As I said, I understand it. So it was great. It was very great. And it also is kind of always liberating to enjoy some apple. Mm, I think I always say this fact back whenever I eat an apple, or whenever I remember that I am going to eat an apple, I place it on the fridge. Why? Because full, no, food being cooler is better. At least for me. I hate even more fruits tasting kind of hot. What a fucking disgusting thing. Imagine that you go bit into a hot apple and it tastes like hotness. Wow, what a shameful experience. It is very, very, very horrible. And I also was, I still was thinking about my incredible move to. Yeah, but I don't know if what you refer to cider has other meaning, but here you only have cider with alcohol in it, so it isn't weird to drink cider however it is. Be it cold, be it hot, be it freezed, be it sometimes some people likes to when you're kind of struggling, it is kind of common to boil a little bit of the substance. At the end of the day, we learned that in reality, what we are boiling is mostly the alcohol. But when we are younger with our friends, we boiled some stuff and drink from it, thinking that it was going to be a stronger alcohol. In reality, it was kind of the opposite, but at the same time, placebo effect. So I don't know. When you're struggling, you try a lot of random things. Mm, Also, talking about apples, one of my deepest fears, aside from the most normal thing, that is finding a worm or any kind of insect inside of an apple that I am eating, that I am actively eating, is the idea of finding somehow a fucking hair inside of it, but embedded in the fucking. Why would I use it? We are literally chilling. Why would I use that? Thank you, Rosebone, for the idea, but we have no reason to use it today. We have no no real reason to use it. Why would I ruin such a song with such a non-related ambient in general? Are you paying attention to what I said? How the fuck will a hair have protein on it? I think hair is keratin mostly, and also no wait. This is my stream. I can check it. Is it true that you cannot digest hair? Is hair digestible? Let's see what it isn't digestible, because hair is not digestible by humans. To be digestible, we will need specialized bacteria similar to those that help in digesting cellulose, which has some similarities to keratin. Both are polymers. Amazing. So yeah, you don't even have any kind of benefit from eating hair. Yeah, you cannot. Wait, what? It also doesn't decompose. What do we do with the hair? We gather it and we burn the air or something like that. I don't understand the idea. But wait, what? Yeah, but the worm in the apple bit. Oh yeah, the worm. What if you were really struggling? You could even eat the worm, but I mean, it is still fucking nasty. Even if the worm was living on the apple for a lot of time, it already went through a lot of other things. And I don't know about you, but I personally never had a worm, so I know that probably if I were to eat a worm, it will end up doing bad things to my stomach. And if I also were to be conscious about the act of eating the worm, I will probably, after swallowing, go and directly throw up. Why? Because it is fucking horrible to me. At least in my mind, how a worm will taste. Probably like dirt, but also with wormy parts. There was a movie about a guy who ate worms, or something like that. My memory should remember that. It was a guy that ate worms, and his, at the end of the movie, girlfriend who also ate worms. Something completely nasty like that. And, well, the start of the movie was the kid being bullied to eat worms. The middle of the movie, the kid getting a girlfriend because he ate worms proudly. And at the end of the movie, everybody was eating worms in their school. Yeah, that is a plot. Amazing. And that is a real movie. Or the most similar thing of a plot of a real movie. So I don't know. The world is very crazy nowadays, is what I can say. But we kind of got sidetracked here, and I was interested in talking about what was it? Yeah, about I already had the list, but I was going to experiment today and see how it goes if I post it after I'm done with the Apple because I kind of struggle with finding the list and all of that after I had eaten. So I will post it when I'm finished with the Apple, when I go through the Apple Heart and when all of that is done. But anyways, how much have I been going? Almost half an hour. Sorry, let me end the Apple right now. Mm. Mm. I cannot avoid to think about how Denver got fucking filtered once again. But well, let me go through the Apple Heart and I'll be back. Um, Transition and mute. Give me a second. I will go through the Apple and we're back. Okay, we're back. And now I also have the possibility, after I drink some water, of holding the mic once again instead of having you to support me without even the mic being held close to my mouth. So let me go back to here. Hello? Okay, there it is. I don't know why the potato wasn't moving. Okay, there it is. Let me now really post chat here. And let me post here. I have the list. I taking into account how much I ended up spending yesterday. Wait, I sent this right now. Timestamp. Well, it is amazing. I think I almost perfectly timed everything to end up with the Apple almost literally at the half hour mark. Well, there it is now. Let me, as always. No, well, I already did. I thanked already everybody that came. So yeah, now we can really enjoy once again the potato rambling. Well, let me stick to the list. Yeah, as I was going to say, I noticed yesterday that I spent a lot of time on some topics, so I tried to pick some some topics that weren't going to be that long for me to deal with. So we will see how it all goes. But at the same time, I don't have a problem with staying up late today. Yes, yesterday, or rather today, I had to wake up a little bit earlier, but I already kind of placed my whole schedule in order, so I already have my nap, my afternoon nap to be able to stay a little bit later. But now, without any more preamble, first topic. As always, we're going first with the things to think about. This case, we have the why talking things is helpful, and I I wanted to think about it kind of loudly because I still don't completely comprehend that idea. I do not see sometimes why or what is the difference between simply thinking about your problems in a sense and kind of speaking loudly about them, because one of the most common ideas that is said about that is that you might as well try to speak about your problems even if your problems are only heard by yourself. I i will guess there is a kind of different mental wiring going on when you are speaking about things rather than when you are simply, so to speak, thinking about them. But at the same time, I don't know. It isn't that I am not thinking about what I am saying, but it it also is real that while I am speaking, I am thinking. So, um, but aside from that, I will guess, even if that was a reality, mm, the simple fact that you are, as we have discussed here before, when you are simply, or yeah, the simple act of facing your problems is more helpful than anything else, because when you accept your problems, or yeah, at the very least recognize what your problems are, you start having in your hands the responsibility of, yeah, as I said, facing them and in general finding solutions for them. So I will guess it has kind of, in a sense, to do with that. Like when you put your problems into words, you are also taking the whole situation to a higher plane, so to speak. Not a higher plane in a spiritual way, but rather the simple act of putting your problems into words make them kind of be put into action for a solution. So when you start speaking about what is happening to you, you also start being able to face them more properly. I will guess that is my actual conclusion about that idea. As I said before, based on the simple fact that the most common kind of guidance that is given is simply, you know what, you might as well try to speak about whatever is happening to you simply for the act of talking about it instead of, in a sense, communicating with others about what you are dealing with. Because speaking with others about your problems is a completely different matter. At the end of the day, when you are deciding to open yourself up to somebody else, you are already kind of expecting, at the very least, a person that is willing to hear you. At the very least, I haven't very recently been dealing with the idea of when you are speaking with someone else, you might not be directly expecting them to give you guidance, but sometimes you also have to, or it isn't that you have, it is that you would rather just have them only hearing to you. And there is also why it is kind of common to see some people that literally come to you to speak about their problems, because some brains are wired in a way that when they are speaking about their problems, they are really trying to work on them. When they are not thinking about them, or well, when they are only thinking about them, they are only placing them in, what's it called? In a whole place, in a whole position, or something like that. It is like they are getting ready to deal with them, but they are still not dealing with those problems. Uh-huh. I was going to say it might also be kind of difficult for me to understand it because I am not like that. I do not need to talk loudly about the problems I have. As I have discussed here before, this only came as a solution because I really wanted to stream, not because I needed to think about things loudly. It is the kind of best content I can provide for anyone. Not because, in my case, I am one of those people that only by talking about what they are dealing with, they are finally trying to give them a solution. But, anyways, um, at least for now, nothing else to add. Well, yes. Water timestamp session. We have been going 7 minutes. How did it take me 7 minutes? Anyways. And well, in this case, at the very least, it is a very related idea. There is no need for me to explain anything about it. Why? Because, as I said before, the simple act of you being aware of your problems is very, very freeing. And I wanted to think about it in this case because it is kind of weird. I do not completely understand it. It kind of clashes with the idea that even if you do not know the law, you might as well still be held accountable for it, in a sense. Even in this case, is the opposite. If you do not know about your problems, you are not capable of responding to them. It is. I will guess the difference lies that a problem is not something that you have to abide by, but rather something that is conditioning you. So when you know what is holding you back, you also are facing or starting at the very least to put into words what is it that you have to deal with. And when you are not facing what you are being held back by, you might as well not even be aware about your condition. While the law, for example, if you do not know for example, if you do not know that there is a speed limit when driving, you literally aren't held back by that. But the obligation lies in you to know about it. It isn't that you need to, no, it isn't that you are held back by it, even if you do not know it. It is rather that, as I said, it is completely the opposite in this case. Kind of weird to see. Kind of weird to see because it was kind of the most prominent example that came to my mind when speaking about such thing. I would guess when you are I guess when you are trying to deal with your problems, you are simply making them exist in front of you. The law is, in that sense, something that doesn't come even near, because the law isn't the problem. The law is kind of being redundant. Law. It is only law, made to avoid problems, in a sense. At least in the most common kind of laws, so to speak. It isn't that we create laws to make problems, it is rather that we create laws to avoid problems. So I don't know why did that came to my mind, but anyways, that is kind of the most correct way I can put it. And at the same time, it is kind of weird to see that I do not find anything else to say about it. But well, I still need to, and in this case, it really is a little bit of explanation, because if you do not understand what it means to be free because you are aware of your problems, it is that by simply knowing what you have to deal with, you might as well have already started to deal with that possibility. In a sense, it isn't also that it is being free. it is that you know have a responsibility. So sometimes if you aren't really ready, so to speak, to face whatever actual problem you're having, you might as well end up in the worst possible scenario. That being obviously death, but in this case we aren't talking about that kind of depressing idea. And at the same time, even if you have depressing ideas, I also, as I explained yesterday, I don't think there is anything really depressing. Rather, how you face the ideas is how you really find them depressing or not. There is, by itself, there is nothing depressing, I would say. But well, it might be too much of a conundrum to speak right now. So, timestamp and let's keep going. Water. 43 00. What was it? Awareness. Okay, next, time equal opportunity. In this case, even putting it into words is kind of hard. It is one of those things if I said to you, the last thing I have been talking about was new. In this case, we are dealing with something that I think appeared in my life like a week or two ago. So, or at least I started to try to understand a week or two ago. It might as well be something very old, but when you're trying to understanding things, it is different from simply hearing about them. It is like, oh yeah, if you see or if you focus on a tree, you will lose sight of the forest. If you never thought about it, it might as well be a simple saying that you have heard, but when you try to understand what it means, it has some work behind it that you might need to put. I will say time equal opportunity. I kind of understand it in the sense that as much time, yes, as much time as you are putting into whatever it is you are trying to achieve, you are getting more and more, not opportunities, but more and more secured in a sense. It isn't that anything after a certain threshold is completely secure to anybody, but by simply working on the problems that you have, you are directly making them, or well, not problems, objectives. The objectives that you have, you are having less and less opportunities to fail on those objectives. In a sense, if you, for example, were to learn every single day of your life for the next 3 years how to play an instrument, if you were to be placed after those 3 years in a random arena to play any kind of song that came to your mind with that instrument, you will be a lot more prepared to deal with that, even if there are a lot of other things that might go wrong, like, I don't know, for example, you end up being placed on the Madison Square Garden, thus you end up being nervous, and it is something completely unrelated to playing an instrument by itself. But leaving other possible influences aside, the simple fact that you know how to play that instrument is more of a benefit to you than if you were to not even have taken lessons or taking your time on learning how to do anything. In a sense, it can be kind of transferred to anything. Like, you can only get better at speaking when you start speaking with others, and when you start, yeah, okay, I found it. I found the solution to this problem, to this idea. You only get better to the things that you keep constantly practicing. And if you do not practice things, the only outcome that you can really expect is, at the very least, or in the best possible scenario, is to not be bad at it. You might not be bad at something if you didn't practice it, but you will never be good at anything if you didn't have practice on whatever it is what you are thinking about. And the only differential factor between humans is the fact that to some, practicing 1 hour is enough to become a master on it, because sometimes you might have already developed a backlog, so to speak, of already similar kind of knowledge. For example, you don't need to, if you know how to play normal piano, you don't need to really take that much time into learning how to play the organ. But well, because those two things are related, but you cannot transfer the knowledge of playing a piano to how to run a marathon. There is almost literally nothing similar in that, aside from, I don't know, a rhythm at the very best, trying to make the most kind of crazy connections at the very least there. But yeah, aside from that, I think there is nothing else to offer for today about that idea. Well, yeah, that's it. That's it. Now we're finally entering the things to talk about aspect of the stream. We have session 49. I can really say that I am proud of not taking so much time into going through ideas. The only thing I am kind of nervous about is the idea of maybe having slurred a lot my words, because I think I am lacking practice. So yeah, anyways, moving on. Next topic. Now, as I said before, entering into the things to talk about. So little warning. This isn't so random, and this isn't so convoluted ideas. In this case, we are going to hear things that I kind of already know, so you can expect a little bit more of structure behind what I am going to say, because on whatever else I am talking on the things to think, I am only pulling the ideas that came to my mind at that moment. Here I already have a kind of basic developed concept behind them, so continuing. First thing to talk about: when not taking care of something becomes a danger or a problem. As I think I haven't personally talked about it here, I know it is kind of common to hear about it, because when you are not aware that ignoring things is also a problem by itself, you might not even pay attention to that concept, so to speak. But being, in my case, the backlog from this idea came from the reality that I have been kind of my whole life a procrastinator, so I really like to let things be instead of taking action, in a sense. But yeah, it has a lot of things. This one of the most funny things is that whenever you're not working on your problems, they are only becoming bigger. As time keeps going on, there is no possible way for something to stay still. At the very least, they won't become worse, but that doesn't mean they aren't it's weird to say it because it is a contradiction. It isn't that they aren't becoming worse by not acting on them and letting the time go on, but at the same time, it is that they are also, they are stacking up. So maybe one singular problem might not be that bad if it is left alone, but through your whole life, if you end up stacking in a sense, well, yeah, gaming term, if you end up stacking debuffs, you will inevitably die. Why? Because you can only carry so many debuffs with yourself. In that same sense, you can only carry so many problems until they become a burden on you. In general, the best kind of example that anybody can relate, taking into account that we're, in a sense, grown-ups here. If you went to school, you know that whenever you left homework unattended, it isn't that one homework was going to become worst by not doing it, but you will end up stacking your homework. So it is literally the same here. If you're not attending your problems, you will end up with a stack of things. And the real problem is that in today's learning system, we are told that it is common for it to happen because, as I used to tag with myself, we are procrastinators. No, my brother, no. It is a complete lie. Why? You develop the habit of not paying attention to your problems. It isn't a kind of the kind of term that they are trying to go is to use procrastinator as a disease in a sense, when in reality it isn't a disease, it is only a condition, so to speak, or a way of being. It is literally as if you were to call those who take action instead of a procrastinator an actioner, and also call it a disease in a sense. What? You wouldn't do that, but with the literally opposite of that, we somehow decided, yeah, you know what, this is a disease, and you might not have the possibility of doing anything about it. It is very funny to know that, because if you didn't know that it isn't really a disease and you have always in your hands the possibility of taking action, you might really believe that, oh yeah, you know what, I am a procrastinator. Oh, no, 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 no. No, dear human, you aren't a procrastinator. You are somebody who, because a lot of different reasons, you lack the desire to act, or you lack the motivation to act on whatever it is you are needing to do. It isn't that you are held by some kind of condition. You know what the funniest part about that is? There are literally examples in the day-to-day life. Even those who struggle to literally think are still dealing with their life. Even those who are still paralytic are being able to deal with the problems that they have. And I do not say in a way of being harsh to whoever is hearing this. It is rather the opposite. It is a proof of how much capabilities you have and how we will go with this kind of speech. It is the problem of those who told you, oh yeah, you know what, you are specifically this. You don't have the possibility of taking action. You are literally going to be like that your whole life. No, man. There is nothing that really defines who you are going to be, aside from yourself. If you decide to surrender to a tag like that, you might as well never go back, but you need to understand it is a tag. That is a tag. There are other things that might not be a tag, that might only be a reality, a complete objective reality, so to speak. But in this case, being a procrastinator isn't a real unsolvable problem. If you were to find how to solve the procrastination problem, you will have so many possibilities open to you, that you will kind of, being who you are as a procrastinator, will go crazy, but being somebody who knows how to take action, completely happy. So yeah, as always, it carries some risk behind it, but at the same time, that risk might as well be worth it instead of not doing anything. Personal idea. Take it or leave it. And now, next topic. After I make the timestamp. There it is. We have the last one for today that I wanted to. Yeah, as I said before, I wanted to have a not so long list because the other day I really had some problems with how many things I put into the list. So I still kind of speed run through some topics, but anyways, we're finally here. The longest idea, so let me get everything ready just in case. So we're here, stream, just in case things here. I can you see that? Can you see that with the stream quality? Let me check. I don't know if you will be able to see. Yeah, I can see it from here. You cannot tell me that you can see it. Beware heavy potato rambling. Do not lie. It is completely visible. Even if you have the stream on the lowest quality, it is completely visible. So, anyways, last topic. Having money for a future. One of the funniest thing to really try to think about. Why? Because, at least personally, I wasn't really I wasn't really told how important it was to have money for a future until, I don't know, I had to make my own fucking concept about it. So if if you find it interesting, you might as well discuss it with me. Why? Because I am still struggling with this one. Anyways, going back to the reality of the rambling. One of the most important things to know about money is that it isn't there to, in a sense, be spent on whatever it is you want. The most important facet that money can have is to serve to you as a cushion, so to speak. Not because literal cushion, you want to sleep on money, but rather because, let's say that tomorrow you have an accident. If you have no money, I don't think kind of anybody can say, oh yeah, I can survive an accident. For example, let's say I end up being unable to walk for the next 4 months of my life. If you were to have that accident and you didn't have any money ready for that, you might as well find yourself having some real problems. Why? Because if if you cut your possibilities of doing anything money related or money earning related, you might find how interesting it is to never have a cushion in that sense. You did the first and foremost important part of having money is to always have a little bit saved for any kind of negative possibility. Also, on the other hand, it doesn't mean that you need to constantly think about, oh yeah, you know what, I need to save money, I need to save money, I need to save it. Tomorrow I am going to literally break my arm, so I need to have money saved just in case. No. You don't need to think about what will happen. You only need to have it there in the minimal possibility. You do not need to caress the idea of having an accident or having anything bad happen to you. You only need to know that if anything were to happen to you, you have already already said it, a cushion to fall back into, a way to not be so worried about your future. Why? Unless you somehow are hearing this from a different reality, anybody here in the world needs money to do the most basic kind of things, like buying energy, buying water, buying groceries, buying food, buying whatever it is. You cannot, I mean, you could, if you were living in a garden, you could really not worry about having money for food or very kind of basic resources, but I don't think that much people has that possibility nowadays. So it is not only that yeah. Sorry for a second there, I got lost. It is not only that you have to know how to how to have your money, but also that if you're really understanding how important it is to have a little bit of savings ready in case anything happens, you might as well also start learning how to avoid incorrectly spending your money. The biggest problem with that is that nowadays we tend to think a lot of things are necessary. And I am not speaking from a completely mentally elevated point of view. I still spend money on fucking Prime. I haven't watched a movie on Prime on, at the very least, 2 months. I haven't claimed almost anything with Prime, aside from, oh wow, LOL capsules, wow. So yeah, it isn't that I'm talking about those who have it from an external perspective. No, it also applies to the potato, don't worry. It, the same thing might have been applied to me 2 months before I started streaming with Netflix. We have Netflix, we have Prime, we have in I remember in a point we have a plan for if it somehow were to be a reality that a fucking tree fell in our house, we might get our router replaced. Something that is virtually impossible because we do not have trees almost in the whole vicinity of our house, of our whole street. It is literally impossible. But we were so crazy about the not so crazy because we never stopped to think about it. We said, oh yeah, this is so important to have just in case. No, you might need to really think about how you're spending your money. That is the real message. What you're trying to deal to do with the money that you are using on meaningless things. For example, you might need to. Yeah, the most common thing is always to put a little bit on groceries. You do not need so much. Candy. I'm sorry if you love candy. I do not care. Candy isn't a necessity unless you have blood sugar problems. In the in the in the same manner that having blood sugar problems, it is a problem that can be solved from other perspective. What? What are you saying? What are you talking about, Gamoy? Are you okay? Is everything fine? What are you talking about? But anyways, going back, yeah, you need to revise how you are spending money. Why? You might never know how you might improve on it. How you might also stop spending so much. So what? Okay. I hi no what sorry what I don't know what you're saying, come on. But anyways, after taking those, I think I said 3 things. I think so. After taking those 3 things into consideration, we can place the most important or final argument in this. And that is that in a yeah, a lot of times when you also have a good knowledge about how to use your money, you also have the possibility of solving minor problems that might arise and that you might before never thought about solving, in a sense. Why? A personal example, if I were to have a lot of money, I will really be able to spend it instead of making things by myself, because I have zero money to spend on this. I will be able to pay an artist, pay a professional to make really good art, make something really interesting that people will be interested in seeing, thus helping my own endeavor of, in this case, Vtubing. You understand what I mean? It is something that can help you in whatever aspect you are trying to work. And if you disregard the possibility of using money, you might as well be handicapping yourself. There are some people that, yes, might not be able to spend money. In my case, if I were to decide to spend like, oh yeah, you know what, $50, I might as well go broke, because I am personal situation. Argentina can't deal that much with dollars, so I am not going to risk my whole bank account just to have some potato or anything. Good luck. Not my case, but if you have the possibility of circumventing problems or shortening a solution to your problems through money, you might as well do so. Why? Because in this case we're talking about good problems. It also is important to have in mind that not every problem is really, or not everything that you might find as a problem is in and of itself a problem. You might be worrying too much about one aspect of a certain thing. For example, if I try to never be so specific, but if you were to try and spend the most money that you can on buying games, based on what I have already said here, you might as well not be understanding that there are a lot of platforms where you can make money by playing games. You can make money by spending that same money that you are going to spend in games on something very similar, holding it for some time, and after that time has passed, oh yeah, make some bank and never again worry about your money. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Nothing else to say. Today we had a good day, so let's see who we can rate, because I want to take a bath. I got drenched. Potato is sweating right now because it is already too hot in here. Yeah, we have some work. We did some basic work. I will let me check for a minute on Twitch. Yeah, Twitch general. Also, wait, we have people here. I have been thinking I might as well start having. Thank you for your burnt points. But well, as I said, I might as well start counting the amount of mosquitoes that I am dealing with every single day, because in this last week I am pretty sure I killed like 20. I am going crazy. And this isn't a joke. I am completely going crazy. They are fucking up my whole sleep schedule. It is fine. It is fine. Let me find somebody to write. Is this guy is still streaming? Wait, no. No, you know what? You know what? We're going to rate this person. I hope this is going to go. What up? What up? Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm, I mean, thank you, Churl, for tuning in, but I am going to end it. The stream, not my life. What? What was that? What? Freudian sleep. No, what? Uh, Anyways, let me create a red message. Well, I don't need to create it. There it is. Amazing. Automatization. Wow. The machines are taking over the world. Red here. Okay. There it is. You know what? Time for me to say goodbye to everybody. As always, thank you for coming. Well, yeah, anything else to say? I have not. So, while this gets ready to be read, you copied the here it is, bro. Oh my god, what a good play that was.